Mr. A.K. Khanna. Professor Anand Khanna is the chairman of SSPC India and technical director of Thermogreen Cool Coat Private Limited. He is a retired professor from IIT Bombay and has guided 27 PhDs and more than 130 masters and BTech projects and has 5 patents. He has an extensive publication list with more than 200 papers in peer-reviewed international journals, through which he has got more than 4,500 citations. Today, he will be talking about the need for sustainable solutions for construction architecture. So let's welcome Mr. Anand.
As you know, whenever Mr. Gadkari comes on TV, he always talks about we are the highest in making the highways, 37 kilometers per day and so on and so forth. And also with the very latest strategy by Prime Minister to enhance or to speed up the construction activity. That is a very positive step for a country like India. And if you can see the scenario like the situation in Bombay, for example, there are 11 metros going on parallelly. And on one note, we always find, so many projects are coming together, Bombay will be very good. But what about the present people? We can't walk, a distance of 10 minutes takes almost 45 minutes. And you have to cross those roads which are full of stones and all those things which makes our life very tough. And even if you see the first metro which was made in Bombay, in the Andheri Kurla Road and Versova, even today, some of the roads next to that have not been repaired. So what basically it tries to show you that when the construction process is very fast, when the construction and requirement of the country is very fast, the construction activities have to follow a suitable pattern, suitable methodology, and a suitable system so that you are trying to make your future good, but don't spoil the present. And that is one of the biggest problem which I see as a common. I'm not a construction man. We are scientists and we create lots of things for the infrastructure things. We have a testing laboratory and we have do a lot of things into that. But when we see this activity, it makes us very gloomy that although we are going for the best, but we are not trying to follow the best policy. So last two presentation with Alex told that we have to use the most modern IT softwares to make the construction very fast. And I think Mr. Sachdeva told about the renting of sophisticated equipments to make the construction much easier, simpler, and that kind of a thing. But the important thing about this thing is the methodology, the system, which means that if I start the project today and I finish it in 2 years, the area where the construction is going on should look tidy, should look pollution free, should not create too much of sound, should not create too much of waste collected at one place. I think those are the things which are very important along with the construction. So I think organizers have given me this topic of sustainability, and some of the things which I have just talked are basically in the sustainability. So the topic is the need for sustainable solutions for construction architecture. Now, what is sustainable construction? Today, the word sustainable is being used for almost everything. Basically, what it means is that whenever you make something new, try to conserve the natural things, see to it that they are destroyed minimum. And if something is destroyed, can it be reusable? And how can you use less energy and create a high quality product? This is basically the meaning of sustainable. That's why today it has become a fashion to add sustainable in everything. And actually in our own life also, we use sustainable life. And what is the meaning of that? That instead of using many artificial things which are there, if you use natural thing and follow naturopathy, then you can sustain your life better than by the using all these products. And these are very nicely I've taken from net. Some of these things are the mottos of sustainable things: reduce waste, recycle, conserve energy, build green buildings, use sustainable resources. That's what I just told even before showing the slides, that this is basically the thing. And how you can achieve it? Some of the things are cutting materials precisely in order to reduce waste, controlling waste management such as separating and recycling waste, constructing green buildings, adaptive reuse of projects that transform old buildings, managing construction sites to improve the environment, very important, which many people are not following. Examples include treating water on site, no smoking, recycling food, conserving energy, selecting sustainable and recycled materials. So this is a just expansion of all these mottos. Why sustainable construction? It gives better quality of the life. More people turning to sustainability because they think that is the way of living. Sustainable construction offers a greener future. And basically, it is also for optimizing the resources for the best utilization. Recycled materials are preferred, fewer harmful chemicals are used, more renewable construction products are used. And this is some of the, when you have to do the work, we have to use costly equipment, we have to use more manpower. But somehow I think I find that the training to the workers to use these equipments, to use the day-to-day work, to use many sophisticated equipments, that is not given proper. And once something is cut properly or once something is there for use, its proper procurement, proper handling are not done properly, and that's why you find that many construction sites in India look in a mess. I have visited several countries and I have seen, once I was in Japan and a road was being made. The very simple thing was that the part at which the road was being made was fully cordoned, and the road next to was 101% in right form. Only then this construction was started. Here what we see is the reverse. You are trying to construct, you occupy half of the good road, and whatever is left is bad road, and that becomes even more bad, and you want people to drive their cars and walk on that. And this is basically the poor management, and perhaps this doesn't meet the basic sustainability requirement. Now today we talk about infrastructure. All kind of infrastructure are being made. We have hydropower project, we have metros almost in every city, bridges and flyovers, another thing. These are very common things which we are making, and all these things have a very special thing that some of these things are on the crowded areas, crowded things, except for hydro projects and other things which are on the separate thing. But most of the things are on the crowded areas, and when the things are on the crowded area, you have to have a different way of application into that. I have also included some of the construction activities, heavy construction, which are required for making our power plants, refineries, and many other kind of things. And here there is one more additional thing. Then when we make a boiler, when we make a steam turbine, when we make all these kind of a thing, proper selection of material and proper technique used to cut them, to use them at various temperatures and other things, those are very, very important things. That's why I've just added something more from infrastructure, that this becomes it. Now, this is a very important slide, and I think two dons of construction people are sitting there. When we make any infrastructure project or a heavy construction project, there are, if I count, there are more than 50 different resources you use. We discuss IT, we discussed equipments, then it's a material, then it's a testing, then it's a fitting, then it's a design, architectures, money, a resource, and all these kind of a thing. So all these are part of the infrastructure development. And so so the word sustainability says that I have to be master in all these areas, and whosoever is responsible for his part, he has to follow those things in that particular manner. Now, when I just talk about a very simple thing, metals and materials are used in almost everything, whether it is a high power construction, heavy construction, or it is a simple bridge or a building or any kind of a laboratory or any kind of a mall or restaurant or any kind of a thing. So the selection of material, which steel should be used, which how it should be cut, and in order to retain its strength, what kind of heat treatment should be given, how welding methodology should be used, and finally what kind of finish should be given to it, so that it finally works in a much better manner. Because our aim is basically, when I use this kind of a thing, I require its proper durability. So the main business model for such project is location, design, procurement of raw materials and equipment, labor, supervisor and inspections, finance, execution, and then storage of the material component till they are actually utilized for that construction activity. Now, this is a very, very important thing. Many people find that by your wrong storage of the material or components of the building material, or in a heavy construction, metals and other kind of a thing, they start corroding or getting damaged during that time. And when you actually use them, you have to do lots of modifications, and that requires more resource. So design must be assured. So that's why the architecture, which is the initial, what do you say, guiding principle for a design. Today, architecture basically assures you that you live in a building, or you live in a complex, or you live in, you create a flyover, or you create, whether it is trying to create a suitable environment without hindering the present thing into that. Like, for example, it is a multi-story building, whether there is enough room for fresh air to enter into that, and also it makes lesser requirement of air conditions and other kind of things. Are we using methodologies like water harvesting, or we are using solar powers at the top, or we are using solar heat reflective coatings which help you to reduce the temperature? These are the requirement of architecture, who can add this into that and create the high sustainability value for the whole projects. Then how to assure durability? Ultimately, if you use better design, if you use better architecture, if you use better construction materials, if you use better equipment to make it, ultimately you are judged with how long your building or structure lasts, what is its durability. And for that, being a surface engineering person, I will say that each and every material, whether it is a concrete, whether it is a steel used for concrete, or very high stainless steel used for various parts of the building, or flyovers, or any kind of a thing, you have to properly check the material composition. You must have to first see to it that the location, what is the level of pollution there, and how this pollution is going to affect my material, and thereby reduce my life of that kind of thing. And if it is going to reduce my life, how I should assure that this life should not be reduced, by choosing a proper coating system, proper paint system, or proper material choice, which will assure the whole kind of a thing. So I think this whole thing is a very complicated thing, which the thing has to be properly taken. And I'm very happy that in this very sophisticated thing, which I'm an outsider, but I do lots of work for the construction people, and time to time we advise them that which is the material thing required, what properties you should check before using it, and other thing. But I will request or through your this meeting, I will request that a message should go into the construction people to create a tidy, neat construction place, and the place around that should be kept as clean as possible, so that the normal day-to-day life of the people at present is not disturbed. Thank you very much.